Hey everyone, Harry here to talk about the longest shot removal motions of all, which are being heard today in federal court in Georgia. All right, we've had two so far. Meadows, who moved right away and had what people assessed, including me, as a possible case. Jeff Clark, who didn't even show up and didn't testify, who had a not very plausible case. Donald Trump will be moving for removal. It'll be at the last possible moment, probably the end of the month. A lot of speculation on the cable news yesterday that you compare Meadows, who testified, Clark, who didn't and didn't even show up. That means that Trump will be testifying, opine many pundits. It just gives me an occasion to interpose. Axiom number one, Trump will not testify. All right, but back to that leaves three. They are all Georgia state electors, Georgia officials, the head of the local Republican Party, and a couple other of the would-be phony electors, the ones who said, yes, here we are, we're bona fide electors, and we want to, register and have our votes sent along to the Congress and hopefully gum up the works. What, you might ask, would such people possibly be doing in trying to remove their case, which requires them to be federal officials and have a colorable federal offense? Well, in this very convoluted logic, they're saying, hey, we are electors, and that is kind of sort of a federal post. Yes, it's, it's recognized and put into action by Georgia state, but it's a federal role to cast a vote for the federal election. And so we're federal officials too, and we want to be removed. And maybe it's even preparatory to a motion for immunity. Fani Willis punctured it in a sentence, basically by saying, they're not electors, they're pretend electors. This is like having a phony U.S. Marshal's pass and saying that you're a U.S. Marshal. The whole point of their crime is they're not officials of any kind. They are masqueraders who showed up and asserted unlawfully and as part of a broader conspiracy that they had in fact been duly qualified when actually it's completely false. So there's 8 problems with their trying to do this, starting with being a federal official. And of course, it's also, if they were a federal official, whatever that would mean, it wouldn't be in their official duties to lie and change the vote of the people of Georgia. Their official duties would be to recognize and follow through on the vote of the people of Georgia. But a much bigger problem is they don't get out of the gate because they are at best pretend federal officials, not real ones. And I think they recognize that they're local, they're from Georgia, but they have not even showed up in the hearing that is now taking place in front of Judge Jones in federal district court. So we're talking about the former chairman, David Shafer, who most people have seen as the kind of ringleader or most willing culpable in the know of the various would-be electors, and then a state senator and a former chief of staff. So they are the 3 who have been, they're not the only 3 state electors who've been challenged, but they're the 3 who go forward and say with considerable chutzpah, remove me to federal court. It's a time in general when defendants sort of are doing anything they can to throw stuff against the wall, see what sticks. But it's not without a cost. I can't imagine that the credibility of these folks isn't compromised by showing up and making such an argument. Of course, they're making it in front of the federal court, and when he remands them, that's the sort of legal language. They try to remove, and he remands back to state court. They'll be in front of McAfee and not Jones. And it might be, especially with these state electors, that this is a shot they're taking. And if they lose it, they'll really think seriously about cooperating. They are people who are not in the Trump circle, are not going to be taking care of him, for forever, and may really have good motivation to A, have a future, and B, therefore cooperate. But in any event, for now, they're taking their shot at saying, yes, I'm a federal official, and so I want my case in federal court, and I think it will be punctured rapidly with the kind of unanswerable observation. They're not federal officials, they're pretend federal officials. I can't put it any better. So look for Judge Jones to make quick work of this one, and look for these three to be back in Fulton County court with nearly everyone in short order. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.